Alright, so we've got another small project to do here in the shop, and this is another job for my friend Cody. I've done some jobs in the past for Cody. It's been a little while now, but he's into motorcycles. He builds motorcycles on the side of his house, like drag racing type motorcycles. But he's got a couple parts here that he needs some modifications done to. So he had contacted me and asked me could I do this for him, and so it's been here a little bit. I need to go ahead and try to get on it and get it done so that he can continue on with his work for his customer. So we're going to go ahead and get to it. A couple seemingly easy jobs to be done. One's pretty simple, and the other one's going to be a little bit more involved. I've got to come up with a little fixture to do this, and I'm gonna show you that. I'm going to talk about it and show you what we're going to do here. So let me just bring the camera down here a little bit closer, and I'll show you what we got going on. While I'm thinking about it, I was going to mention it here. Recently, I've been trying to film in 60 frames a second on the GoPros here because I like the quality of 60 frames. It looks better to me. To me, it creates a better looking video. I've been having a lot of problems with 60 frames for as far as the computer goes. And my laptop that I have inside can't even handle 60 frames, so I can't even preview them on that. But I've got some things that I'm working on as far as the computer goes. I got some upgrades coming here pretty soon, hopefully. So for now, I'm going to go back to 30 frames a second for the video, and that's what you're kind of used to seeing anyway. So I just wanted to kind of share that because I've taken quite a bit of 60 frame video here in the past week, so you'll see that. And then you'll see this 30 frames a second video. So anyway, let me get you down here and talk about what we got to do, and then we'll get started on it. So one job is these little pieces of stainless tubing or pipe or something. I'm assuming this is probably some kind of tubing. They have to do an exhaust system, and he needs these shortened, and he had measured what he needed and gave me the measurement, which is actually 0.565 inches, about 9/16. So right now I think they're 794. So we've got about a 1/4 inch there that we've got to take off these. These are going to be a little tricky to hold. One way that you could do it, if you have what they call an emergency collet, you could actually bore that where this could fit in there. This has been machined, so you've got a true diameter all the way around that, even though it's a little bit thinner right there, and all of them are pretty consistent. You could do that. I don't have an emergency style collet to machine to hold that. You can use a 3-jaw or a 4-jaw. You got to do a bunch of indicating every time. I want to make it a little bit more secure than that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make a little fixture for this to go on. You have a shoulder inside there. And by the way, we're saving the area back here with this inner shoulder, so we're going to be cutting it off this face. What I'll do is take this piece right here. This is something that I used in a past job when I was doing some metallizing, just a piece 2-inch cold roll. I'm going to chuck this up. I'm going to turn it so that it'll just fit up onto like a register on that inner bore right here. It'll fit up on there. Okay, that'll center it and hold it. And then I've got the inside of this is just over 1.5 inches. All right, so I've got some 1.5 inch stress proof right here. I'm gonna chuck this up. I'm gonna drill a hole through there, and I'm gonna basically make a washer out of this 1.5 inch. So we'll be able to stick a washer in there with a bolt and pull it up on that mandrel right there. All right. So yeah, I forgot to mention that. We'll drill and tap the center of this for say like a 3/8 bolt or something. And then that'll fit on there on a register, slide the washer in there, tighten it up. That'll hold it so that I can come in here and just part that off. All right, so there's that one. And then the next job that we got to do are these aluminum flanges right here. And I'm pretty sure this also has to do with the header for the bike. These just simply need to be milled in half. They need to be half the thickness. So right now they're what, 10? Yeah, they're 10 millimeter. So they need to be 5 millimeter. And I'm going to use this mini pallet for that. Let me get it over here so you can see. I'm going to use this mini pallet and just kind of stagger them in here like so. Oh, I had played with this last night, so what I'm going to do is use one of the strap clamps, and we'll use a bolt hole in between the two, like this. And we'll just do two of them like this, two on each side. We'll put another one right there, and we'll get that clamp down nice and secure, and I'll be able to mill half of it or over half, and loosen them up, flip them over to the other side, and then mill the other half. So hopefully that's a pretty simple job. Hopefully that'll go good, and we'll knock it out that way. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Already got the jaws preset for 1.5 inches. We don't need a whole lot of stick out right there, so snug them up. And I think I'm going to use the tool post indicator from Edge. And you got to make sure that they're all tight once you get it right there where it needs to be. Last few thousandths you can usually just tighten up on your chuck jaws to get it to move, and just make sure all 4 of them are snug so that you don't get it trying to move around. All right, good enough. I think this is the first use with the Jacobs 20N. Just getting a starter for the hole there. I like it. It's got a nice big feel to it. Definitely feels bigger than the 18 for sure. Alright, just got to put a little 3/8 hole through here for our bolt. I think we'll give ourselves about 1/8 of an inch or so. That should be plenty thick enough. A little deburring on the inside, and let's part her off. Now, got my little rod here to catch it. Go in there a little ways, and I'm gonna take a file and file the 2 corners there. Pull back on the carriage just a little bit, and it didn't do it quite enough that time, but sometimes you can get it to pop off and leave the little pip on the shaft side of it right there. Got most of it though. So I got the 2-inch already chucked up. We got it faced. I got a stop set, just showing you right here. What I'm going to do is machine it to fit this. So about 1.445 is what it's measuring, and I checked all of them, and they're all pretty consistent within about 0.002 there. So we'll try to hit a little shoulder about that, about 442. We'll just fit it on there and then make sure all 4 of them fit. Okay. So well, we got a little over 1/2 inch to come down. Zero out this cross slide. Alright, so I just went in 1/2 inch. 1 inch 507. So I'll go ahead and get the rest of it turned down close to that, and then I'll finish it to size. Come into my 0. About 50 thousandths. 10, 20, 30, there's 40. I'm just feeding by hand, by the way. That's real short step there. All right, getting real close. Okay, that'll work right there. That'll hold it. Let me look through there. All right, so we'll stick that on there. Let me check the other ones. That will go. That will go. And that will go. And then we'll put our washer in there like so to hold it. So we still got to drill and tap it. I'm really digging this chuck. I love the way that key goes in there and the feel that I have tightening it up, man. Just awesome. We're gonna use our new big boy tap guide in our big boy Jacob Super Chuck. I'm gonna try out that spring center for the first time. It got to me here a 3/8 spiral fluted tap and none other than a Starrett tap handle. Okay. Looks like our tap guide's doing pretty good. Tap seems to be doing okay. It might be a little bit dull, but all right, I think we're ready to put this thing together. All right. Looks like it's spinning nice and true. So, what we can do is use this grooving, this part off tool right here that I used earlier. What we can do is touch this face and just step it over with the indicator what we need, which is 565. I need to verify that again. Once we have it set, we'll cut the first one, check it, and we can just stick the other ones in there and part them off too. Here we go. So I verified it, I wrote it down, it is 565, so we'll come in here and just kind of lightly touch this face. Alright. I use the compound for that. Alright, I'm going to preload this indicator over here. We're going to count it back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 50, 60, 6, 7. I'm going to go 2 thousandths proud just to make sure that we're there since I was touching that face. Alright, I'm going to reset my 0 here because I want to go in there and chamfer that once these are parted off. Alright, what I want to do is just kind of double check that. That looks right. Alright, I'm going to slow it down. It's a little fast for that stainless. think what I'll do is just leave the machine set right where it's at and go ahead and part them off first. I don't like leaving the sharp, but I want to check this one first and see if it's correct, and then I'll just set them right back up with a different tool bit just to chamfer the inside and outside. Come on, let go. And it ain't gonna do it, is it? Oh, it's catching that inside burr. Well, that ain't gonna be no good. I might have to hit it with my chamfering tool back on there. So, all right, let me. Look at that, dead on it. Just do it by hand like this. See, I don't like it whenever it jumps like that. I want to leave a nice edge on there, so we'll go back and do it with a tool bit. We'll show one more here on video of the parting. We're set on 0. That's the 4th one, so we're going to go in here with this brazed on chamfering tool. We'll just hit the outside and the inside with it. Make sure it stopped before I touch it. I didn't get it all, I can tell. There it is. You can see it kind of curling out of there now. There we go. All right. So I'm just going to repeat that with the other 3, and then these will be done. All right, we got our 4 spacers here done. Let's see how they size up. I think it's safe to say we're within 1/1000ths between all these. Okay, so these are done. Let's go ahead and move on to the aluminum parts now.